Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and to Disco Elysium. So let's resume where we left off. We last time before closing the episode, we talked inside downstairs in the basement inside the furnace, and we got an answer from somebody. I'm pretty sure it's not the spirit that the lady was saying in the in the library downstairs, but we don't know who it is yet. So let's just go. They opened up this door that was closed before, and it's okay. It's somebody working at a table. Apparently, there's a lot going on here. A lot more than I thought. All right, let's see. Start looking around. This tray is full of dice, colorful polyhedral dice, hundreds of them. Okay, so it's dices. Interesting. The candy dispenser has been repurposed to contain thousands of dice. Okay, I'm starting to get an idea of what we'll do here. What kind of person this is, basically. It's a lot of dice around, so... Alright, let's put away the torch for now. We don't need it. Let's put our bag back inside, and then we'll see. Well, inside, I mean in our hands, obviously. So, let me see here.
Hello, I'm Nia.
A bird-like woman sits on a throne of tools with an emerald light shining through her hair.
Did you try knocking on my window? I must have missed you. I've been listening to my Milius.
Okay. Milius. What is my Milius? Okay, she taps on her headphones. She probably means music. It's yeah, I guess it's a radio player or something.
So
Okay.
what kind of dye are you looking for?
Kind of die are you looking for? No, nothing. She's got a direct view of the backyard. You should interrogate her about the lynching. True. Okay, she has a window here that looks directly down. You must have me confused with someone else. I haven't knocked on your window. Why are you asking me about dice? Oh, never mind, I'll be back later. Hold on, what you mean by... Yeah, hold on, what you mean by Milius?
Yes, a Milius is like a call-in station. You need a two-way radio to access one. That's why I have these.
She passed the headphones on the table. Okay, so it's a radio station, okay.
Mostly, they just teach you to swear in different languages.
Haha.
But some of the stations can be quite interesting. I was so absorbed, I must have missed you knocking.
They teach you to swear in different languages. Interesting. You must have me confused with someone else. I haven't knocked on your window.
Then how did you get inside? By the south entrance? You know what? It doesn't even matter. What matters is that you're finally here. Let's talk dice. Did you have something specific in mind?
Okay, so I guess she's a dice maker and she thinks we're a client. We're not. I mean, we can get a nice dice, but we're not a client. I can say that much. Why are you asking me about dice?
I'm a novelty dice maker. Tell me the name of your role playing system and I'll make the die you need. That's why you're here, yes?
No, that's not why we're here. Role-playing games, you know the ones made by Fortress Accident? The one made by Fortress Accident. Does that count? Sure, I like role-playing games and I need some dice. Okay. Uh, answers. I mean, this would be the most classic one, but can we maybe do something about dices? I don't know. Um, it's definitely something that we can get. I mean, the game has been showing me lately that you can get a bunch of stuff if you just ask the right questions. So maybe we want to get some dice. Um, I mean, sure, sure.
Very good. My rate is 10 real per set.
10 real percent.
Unless you want something really unusual. Take
Okay.
a look around and see if there is any particular stone you want to use.
The walls around here are covered with rows of precious stones and minerals. It almost looks as if the stones and dice are a natural part of the room, growing out of the shelves like stalagmites. No falsehoods are present. She's a novelty dice maker and doesn't have anything to hide. Ask what you need. Uh, okay. How did you become a dice maker? How did I become one? It was a business decision. I was a regular jeweler at first, but that's an unfocused field with too much competition. Some of my friends were role players. They asked me to make some polyhedral dice out of cobalt. That was my first order. I grew it from there. Do you like role playing games yourself? Not especially. I like working with rare materials and a steady pay. And role players as customers, they're nice people. Some of those nice people have big bucks to spend on novelty items. Very true. Very true. Um, okay, sure. I'd like to order a tie from you. Of course, she nods. This is what she's here for. Tell me what you have in mind. The virile, untethered setting. I wanna die for that. Do you have any cursed dice? Tell me about your most extraordinary die. I don't actually know what die I want. Just normal. To help with my work. Interesting. Um, I mean, I don't know about any of that. Looking for something to help with my work, I guess. I think I have just the right one for you. She opens the top drawer of her work desk and takes something out. Two polyhedrons, red and blue, cradled up in her palm. I don't get it. You're a police officer, right? Here, catch. She tosses you the die. They're a gift from me. A beautiful woman tossing you a gift? Whatever you do, don't overthink it. Uh, totally overthinking it. Ah, why? Why are we overthinking it? It's a red check and we cannot try it again. Um, 58%. Let them fall to the ground. Well, at least let's try. Oh, success. Nice. Item gained. Icosahedral dice set Sirens. Um, Mr. Smooth moves. You snatch the dice out of the air with one hand, just like you're in a movie. Wink at the dice maker. Say nothing, act like you've done this 1,000 times. Wink. What are the odds? The dice maker winks back at you. The red one is made of bloodstone with a lapis lazuli inlay, and the blue one is the inverse. I believe these dice are your lucky charm, officer. She winked back at you. Can you believe it? You truly are Mr. Smooth Moves. Alright. You'll definitely need Lucky Martinez. She closes a desk drawer. Was there anything else? I mean, we technically order other dice? Oh, we can. Interesting. So we can get all of this, if I had to guess? More time to think about it. We don't really want to die right now. What do you know about the man who was lynched behind the building in rags? Nothing really. I didn't know him. The lieutenant looks at his notebook, then the woman under the large window. Your window looks directly onto the courtyard. You're saying you didn't see or hear anything unusual last Sunday evening? I'm sorry, detective, but as you know, I usually have my headphones on when I'm working. It shuts out most of the daily ruckus behind my window. Okay, makes sense, I guess. What do you mean by the daily ruckus? And you never took your eyes off the work to look out from window? Um, do you often work Sunday night? Well, these are all interesting questions, and I guess the game will let me ask all of them. What you mean daily ruckus? Well, there's always something going on the Wheeling's backyard. She stops to try and come up with an example. During daytime, there are usually those kids, and lately I've been seeing a lot of drunk workers hanging about. Must be because of the strike. She heard of the murder, but did not see it, sir. Okay. She looks up at the window. Pale light comes in. But I never saw anyone during the fateful Sunday night, I'm afraid. You never took your eyes off the work, to look out the window? I might have, she admits, but in this case, all I would have seen is my own reflection staring back from the darkness. It's light here, but dark in the yard at night. Well, true, makes sense. It's really hard to make anything out in the yard when it's dark outside. Besides, I rarely get up to look out the window when I'm in the zone. Do you often work Sunday nights? It's an odd profession, making dice for people, but I like it, and I prefer doing this to sitting at home. I see. Thank you for your answers. She nods. Anything else, officer? Okay. Well, where are we anyway? What is this place? Task updated. Okay. Oh, it's an investigate commercial area. Interesting. We're inside the we're inside the chimney of an old central furnace. It's strange, I know. She looks at the ruddy bricks that make up the walls. Even though they've been repainted, there are still signs of coal black soot here and there. Okay. Um, but when I arrived here, all the other rooms were taken, so I had to build myself a makeshift home. Besides, I don't really have to pay any rent here, so that's a plus. Okay, so that's probably the only person here that is not going out of business. Interesting. Creative. The lieutenant looks around the spacious room, its ceiling fading into shadows above. I heard this place is cursed. Do you know that people call it the doomed commercial area? Um, okay. I've heard the stories, she nods, as the wind howls in from the furnace shaft above, but I don't think those stories are true. Wait, how are you explain what happened to all those companies yet? It's just capitalism, she shrugs. We only hear about tales of success, so it's often surprising to realize how many ventures actually fail. Well, that is true. Pleasance is the one who sent me. She's convinced that the place is swarming with malicious energies. Pleasance, the bookshop lady? She raises her brows. I've heard that her business is doing rather well. Have the energy spare her somehow? True. Um, let's see. What do we say here? That's quite a few answers that we can give. Uh, hmm. Okay. Well, probably this one. Bookstore isn't doing that well. I mean, it was fully empty, and yes, the kid was outside working. Hmm. All right, but it's not just the bookstore that's still up and running. What about the Wheeling in Rags? Some people say it's part of the building complex. Uh, Hold on, the Wheeling is part of the Doom commercial area? You could say so, but both houses were built at the same time and under the East Delta Commerce Center project. Uh, okay. Customers have trouble paying the bills. Well, that's us. Okay. And then there is me, she sighs, looking at her messy work table. All kinds of tools lie there scattered, from knives to carving files to wire cutters. I've been here for 14 years, selling novelty dice to role-playing enthusiasts. Not exactly a million real business idea yet. Somehow, I've survived despite the talk of malicious energies. Strange, isn't it? Maybe it's just because she's so talented that she's been able to woo the curse. Okay. Pleasant thinks it's because you're the source of it, a malignant entity. Uh, what is... Okay. The curse will get to you, I have no doubt about it, just don't care about it. I'll be the first to admit there are many consistencies in this so-called curse. Let's use this one. The first one. Pleasant thinks it's because you're the source of it, a malignant entity. Malignant entity? What does that even mean? The dice maker laughs. Some kind of sorceress? What about you, officer? Do you think I'm the malignant entity? Uh, hmm, hmm. Well, this would be funny. Narrow your eyes very mysteriously. Uh, might be you that's causing this. I mean, why? How would she be the one to cause the other businesses to fail? I mean, it can be a funny answer, sure, but like, uh, sure. So I'm the Grand Dragon in the cave. She seems mildly entertained by the suggestion. Might I ask what supports this claim? I yelled to someone that goes to the Doom commercial area, and you are the one who answered. That's funny. Uh, hmm. Not miss all those visuals I'm getting. Oh, this is getting pretty tuny here. I yelled. Okay. Oh my, she says in mock despair. I've revealed myself. You better call the exorcists. I don't have to call anyone. I'm a ghost whisperer myself. Uh, okay. Of course. She pinches the root of her nose. How convenient. Task updated. Okay. Well, if you ever find a way to explain all those inconsistencies in the curse, then let me know. She turns back to her work. That's all she has to say on the subject. She has been true and truthful as far as we can see. Pleasance needs to hear about this. Perhaps if you combine your psychic energies, you'll make sense of the situation. Oh, we got legendary. Yeah, that's a 3%. I don't know if we'll be able to do this one. Why hasn't her business failed? Do you know what happened to the other tenants? Everyone else is gone. More or less, she's just a yellow scarf that covers her hair. Are you interested in anyone specific? I mean, quite a lot of them spring to mind. That is quite a lot of them. If we go into that, we'll probably spend here the rest of the episode, but technically I am kind of curious about them. So let's see. Well, I didn't know about that. What happened to the gym? It wasn't merely a gym, it was a Artemitep's Boxing Club, a community project created to steer our risky youths away from drugs and crime. Okay. Who was this guy? A kind man from Zemsk. I heard he had some trouble with the law when he was younger, and that's why he wanted to start the gym as his way of giving back. Maybe that's what Kuno needs, a community-centric boxing club. Kuno, her eyes narrow in the dim light. Who's Kuno? It's sort of the king around here. He's a little ginger gremlin who likes to, okay. Uh, yeah, I guess she probably knows him if she looks at the window, so I'm gonna do this so she recognizes him. Oh, yes, you mean the kid with the sailor's mouth? Yes, I heard him yelling profanities in the backyard. She looks out the window. It's only quiet there at the moment. I think it will take more than a gym to help that kid. Makes sense. How did that community project work out? Or judging from the kids I met so far, it didn't really work, did it? How did it work out? It didn't. If anything, it made the yacht situation in Martinez even worse. At some point, someone started a rumor that a punching bag downstairs was full of, okay, that. It's not really full of that. No one would store their things in that. Eventually, the coalition took away the funding and the club went bankrupt. This was a few years ago. It's gotten much more peaceful around the plaza ever since. Okay, what's up with the broken windows, I guess? Oh, these broken windows. Okay. Oh, this one's a mess, she sighs. There used to be a company that promised to repair windows 24 hours a day. What could go wrong with this one, right? Turns out the business was actually set up as a front for an illicit group that was producing this thing, whatever it is. Who would have guessed? What is that thing? And they never cleaned up the debris either. Now it's just litter in the hallway and I have no idea how to get rid of it on my own. Oh, they mean the ones outside. Okay. Cool. Very cool about the debris, but what's that thing? Okay. Oh, we get XP. Nice. It's a sub-Rosa radio station that broadcasts real stuff going on. Some people pay good money and get off on it. I kind of understand. So it's, yeah. All right. Nothing changes in her tone as she says that, as if it's just another piece of information to lay out for the world. Don't worry, the ICP has a separate division that deals exclusively with unlicensed sub-rosas. The lieutenant turns to you. This isn't our problem. Okay. Good luck with that. It's not easy catching those perpetrators. Then she lets the thought go. Did someone here make stuffed animals? I saw mounts lying around. In the room below, yes. Okay. You mean Mr. Fabron, the taxidermist? No, he mostly just did. Okay. Anything else? Alright. Found creepy mannequins? True, we did. There used to be a fashion atelier here, but I have forgotten the head designer's name. They were doing well for a couple of years until the insect rights activists came. Insect rights? What the heck? What in the name of? Yep, that's exactly my answer. Alright. The atelier produced certain collection that use kiting among the materials. Apparently, kiting is made in the Occident, where it's extracted from beetle wings. And you know how all kinds of political movements are big in the Occident. The activists shut down the biggest kiting suppliers, which of course caused the price to skyrocket. And naturally, all the most fashionable tastemakers refused to be seen in kiting from then on. The atelier went bankrupt before they could finish the collection. Interesting. Someone took care of the little guys. Insects don't have any brains or fangs. They got what they deserve. Making clothes out of beetle wings is a terrible idea. Well, let's be positive. Somebody took care of the insects. Really? She looks at the windowsill where that fly is lying on his back, legs curled up in a bow tie. Anyway, so she's a fly swatter, huh? What's with the rotor blades and skis? Those were also in the room. Okay. They were made by a company called Slipstream. After they pivoted from making rotor blades to skis, their chief executive took off on a vacation with all their money. She rests her chin on her hand with an impish smile. Honestly, I think it's quite funny. I think he's still sending out holiday transmissions from Tulola or Tiomukiri or Cash something or whatever he is. Interesting. What do these transmissions say? The usual, I imagine. Daddy's been thinking up all kinds of new business plans and can't wait to get started on them just as soon as he returns. Here's my guidance before she sees the lieutenant's face behind you. Men like that are cursed. The lieutenant is stern. Sure, but Slipstream is history now. All the remaining assets got seized by the bailiffs in 47. I have no idea why those keys and blades are still lying around in the house. Not much use now, I guess. They were just props. Why return to them? Maybe you can make a sword out of one. No, wait, forget it. It would take too long. Yes, it would. Found a strange machine. Fortress accident, the radio game studio. She closes her eyes to as some remnant of a memory lights up her face. They were an interesting bunch. We talked about role-playing systems every now and then. Once, I even saw two of them get into fistcuffs over Whirl. That's understandable. Fantasy is a serious thing. The mind is drawing board of history. They certainly took their work very seriously, even if they seem to be chronically liberal with their schedules. What you mean liberal? What happened? The usual. They ran out of money and couldn't get the project done on time. What went wrong? Well, I did hear them talking at times. She looks at the hallway, as if she can still hear them chit-chat behind the curtains on a cigarette break. They seem to believe they were historical individuals on some grand quest. She sounds almost mocking when she says that. Well, she is mocking. From what I've seen so far, the project did look quite impressive. True. Yes, but when the money started to run out, they just began to complain a lot about capitalism, how the markets are rigged to keep out new businesses and so on. In the end, they just didn't get it done. They didn't have enough willpower to produce something truly historic and to show up to work on time. Well, showing up to work on time is incredibly hard. Well, that's true. Um, they had everything needed to succeed. Well, they were missing the money, so they didn't have. Uh, it's incredibly hard. Okay, we gained 5 experience. And so it's producing something extraordinary. Sorry. Her eyes wander to the shelves full of die prototypes and discarded models. Anything else? Uh, there was a terrifying taxidermied bear in the cellar. Oh boy, the fabled revitalized city. You're in for a treat here. She smiles and leans closer, hands to her knees, like a stand-up comedian ready to tell a story. The place was owned by two guys who had some rather innovative ideas about marketing. The bear was one of them. Now, ask me about their other ideas. Indeed, what were the other ideas? Alright. There was really just one, and involved picking out the prettiest girls in the neighborhood and paying them 20 cents per hour to mend the booth. And by mend the booth, I mean slump behind the counter with a face that could maim you if you ever dared to disturb their bored magazine browsing. She is back disapproving. What did you expect? 20 cents per hour is dog's pay. I'm surprised they showed up to work at all. Uh, yeah, that makes sense. Oh, but they did. They did show up to work and not alone. They were also acne-ridden girlfriends and gorilla-like boyfriends loitering near the ice cream stand. And they already had the bear. She closed her eyes as if remembering something painful. What about the bear? And the bear, she repeats, pressing thumbs into her temples, like trying to suppress a headache. It didn't work out? Of course not. The bear was terrifying. No one wants ice cream guarded by a hostile apex predator. To make matters worse, the fridge didn't work too well either. None of the ice cream came out malformed and partially melted. Eventually, Revachol Cereal lost the price war to its rival, Glacé 5000. Glacé 5000 sold caramel sundaes for only 5 cents apiece, out of regular fridges. Not solemnly, it's the market doing its job. I'm sure the bear was doing its best. The bear was scary. Every time I saw the bear, I felt scared like it could become alive any moment. I killed the bear, you unplugged it. Uh, Alright, that sounds fun. You did what? She rolls her swivel chair an inch closer to you, unsure whether she heard you right. I had to kill the bear to become the bear. Murdered it with our own bare hands. I laid it to rest. It's my trophy now. Unplug the fridge to help revitalize to record their losses. Uh, okay, this is funny. 5%, 5 XP gained. Ah, of course they left it plugged in. Even in that, the bear is costing them money. The taxidermist who made it said it was his vision beast. He said he met his vision beast while high on dissecants. He called it Megatarian. Sounds cool. Uh, What is a uh? I mean, sure, Megatherian. Megatherian knows the dice maker, a mega wild beast. What's a mega wild beast? It's an imaginary beast that guides you through life by telling you to do more. Okay, mostly. Um, I don't do them. Yeah, we are officially free from now, and we have a huge headache because of that. Very good. You shouldn't do them, nods the dice maker. You're a police officer after all. More five, another 5 XP. Anyway, now you know the story of the fallen ice cream empire. She seems almost sad finishing the story. Some dust beams swirl in the morning light. Her eyes follow it idly. Little sparkling embers under the window. Anything else? Another failed business, perhaps? I've been here for a long time. Okay. I found the building's intercom, but it's not working. All right, she rubs her forehead. Her scarf has left a faint line on the dusty skin. I hope you didn't try to ring me. I think none of those doorbell works, including mine. I'm still in the middle of connecting the wire. Sorry about that confusion. The confusion. Okay. Tell me you have one. The one with an empty name card. It's the last one in the list. As I said, it's quite useless right now. It doesn't work yet. I have a few more questions. Okay. Um. Do we have more? Nope. Okay, well let's ask about this since it's the last one. Yes, I think it was called Androgynous Orlando or something similar. They weren't a big hit around here. Turns out the working class men don't like genderless haircuts. They're scared of that word. Ah, whatever. A bit of experimenting every now and then isn't bad. Exactly. It's not about the haircut, it's about the confidence. What's wrong with a bit of experimenting? The customers should have been more open-minded. Uh, yes. I guess it just wasn't the time yet. She tucks a strand of hair under this headscarf. All right. I had other questions. No, we don't have any more about this, and it's still at 3%. I guess we are leaving then. Okay, so we've got the update on the commercial area. Report back to Pleasance about your findings. Okay, that's gonna be pretty easy. And then we've got new items, which are a pair of dice. Oh, they look nice. Icosahedral dice set sirens. They're only worth 50 cents, I suppose, and they're not interactable, but they look nice. Alright, so this episode has been running a bit longer than usual, but I guess it's fine. So like always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!